I'm Leela, I'm 25 years old, and until 6 weeks ago, I was just a small-town librarian, shelving books and living paycheck to paycheck in a cramped Oregon apartment. My grandparents, Rose and Walter, raised me more than my own mother ever did, their love woven into every moment we shared in their cozy coastal home. They were wealthy but humble, teaching me that kindness outweighs cash, that a life well lived is worth more than gold. When they died in a horrific crash, my world shattered, leaving me hollow with grief. Then came the letter from their attorney, revealing they'd left me their entire $15 million estate, a fortune I never knew they had. My mother, Susan, who barely called them, demanded I hand it all over, threatening to kick me out if I refused. I said no, walked away, and started a plan to make her regret her greed. If you want to see money expose true colors, stick around for this story on Total Revenge. The salty breeze from the Pacific drifted through the open window of my apartment, mixing with the musty scent of old books stacked on my coffee table. I was sorting library returns, my fingers brushing worn spines, when my phone buzzed with a voicemail from Susan, her voice sharp as broken glass. "Lila, you'll meet me at the house tonight, 6 o'clock, to discuss your grandparents' estate, or you're out of that apartment by morning," she said, her words cold, final. I froze, the phone heavy in my hand, my heart pounding as I recalled the apartment lease she'd co-signed because my librarian salary wasn't enough. Rose and Walter's home, a modest 2-story with a wildflower garden, has been my refuge since I was 5. Their warmth filling the gaps Susan left. She'd always been distant, chasing status in Portland's elite circles, leaving me with my grandparents every weekend and summer. "You're too soft, Lila," she'd said last year, scoffing at my job, wasting your life on books when you could be somebody. Now, she thought she could bully me into surrendering what Rose and Walter gave me. But I wasn't the child she'd ignored anymore. I drove to their house. A 20-minute trip along winding coastal roads, the oceans. Roar a steady hum through my open window. The house sat perched above the cliffs, its white paint peeling. The garden bursting with daisies Rose had taught me to plant. Susan's sleek sedan was already in the driveway, her designer heels clicking as she stepped out, her face set in a practiced smile. "Lila, darling, let's be reasonable," she said, unlocking the front door, her perfume sharp against the garden's earthy scent. Inside, the living room smelled of roses, lavender, potpourri, the oak furniture Walter polished every Sunday, gleaming under the lamplight. My Aunt Linda sat on the couch, scrolling through her phone, her husband Mark beside her, silent as always. My cousin Ethan, 23, leaned against the wall, his earbuds in, ignoring me. "Sit down, Lila," Susan said, her voice honeyed but edged. "We're here to sort out this nonsense about the inheritance." I clutched the letter from attorney Clara Bennett, its weight grounding me as I took a chair by the window, the ocean's distant crash calming my nerves. "Nothing to sort out," I said, my voice steady despite the knot in my chest. "Rose and Walter left everything to me, $15 million, the house, their investments, all of it." Susan's smile vanished, her eyes narrowing as she leaned forward, her manicured nails tapping the coffee table. $15 million to a librarian who can't even pay her own rent. She snapped, "You'll sign it over to me. I'll manage it properly. You'll get a small share, enough for your little books." Linda chimed in, her voice shrill. "We have kids to think about, Lila. That house would be perfect for them. Better schools, better life." Ethan pulled out an earbud, smirking. "I need $3 million for my startup." "You don't need all that cash, cousin." Mark shifted uncomfortably, avoiding my gaze. As Susan slid a makeshift document across the table, her pen glinting like a weapon. "Sign it, Lila," she said, "or your lease is terminated. You're out by dawn." The room felt smaller there, voices pressing against me, but I thought of Walter's words when I was 8. Facing a school bully, no one takes your worth unless you let them. Lila, stand firm. I pushed the paper back, my hands steady. I'm not signing, Mom. Rose and Walter chose me for a reason. I'll honor that. Susan's face flushed, her voice rising. You ungrateful girl. After all I've done, paying for your school, your braces, your summer camps, you owe me this. Linda gasped theatrically. You manipulated them, didn't you? Cozying up every weekend, turning them against us. Ethan laughed. You'll blow through that money in a year, Lila. Let Mom handle it. She knows business. I stood, clutching the letter, my resolve hardening like the cliffs outside. I'm leaving, and I'm keeping what's mine. Susan grabbed my arm, her nails digging in. You walk out. You're done. No apartment, no family. Choose now. I pulled free, walked to my car, the door slamming behind me, their shouts fading into the ocean's roar. The drive back to my apartment was a blur. The coastal highway dark under a starless sky, my hands gripping the wheel of my 10-year-old hatchback. I'd spent my childhood with Rose and Walter, planting zucchini in their garden, baking cookies in their cozy kitchen. Their laughter filling my heart where Susan's absence left holes. They'd built their wealth quietly, starting a small fishery in the 1970s with one boat, growing it into a regional supplier with 10 boats and 3 processing plants. Yet they lived simply, Walter driving the same rusty truck for 20 years, Rose clipping coupons for the grocery store. They paid for my college $30,000, so I graduated debt-free, cheering when I chose librarianship over profit. Susan resented their frugality, calling them cheap, demanding they fund her lavish lifestyle, but they refused, saying, money's a tool, Lila, not your value. Use it to build something real. Now, she wanted their fortune, but I'd learned from them, strength wasn't in giving in, it was in standing tall. By the time I reached my apartment, the letter from Clara felt like a lifeline. Words promising a fight I was ready to wage. Inside, my apartment was small but warm, bookshelves crammed with novels, a thrift store lamp casting a soft glow. Over my potted plants, sank onto the couch, the letter trembling in my hands, its contents still unreal. $15 million. A house, investments, all mine. Clara's note explained Rose and Walter had updated their will last year, naming me sole heir, with a video message to clarify their choice. I couldn't watch it yet. The pain of their absence too raw, their deaths 6 weeks ago still a wound that wouldn't heal. The police had called that night a drunk driver. A red light. Their car crushed instantly. No suffering, but no comfort either. Susan had orchestrated the funeral, arguing over costs while I stood numb, unable to enter their house since my phone buzzed. A text from Ethan. Enjoy the big house while it lasts. We're coming for it tomorrow, 10 a.m. Don't try to stop us. I forwarded it to Clara, my heart racing, her reply swift. Stay put, Lila. I'm coming over in 30 minutes. Don't open the door for anyone else. Clara arrived at 8 a.m., her silver hair neat, her briefcase heavy with documents, 2 coffees in a cardboard carrier. We sat at my tiny kitchen table, the ocean breeze slipping through the cracked window, carrying the faint cry of gulls. Your mother's already contacted 2 attorneys to contest the will, Clara said, sliding a coffee toward me, her voice calm but firm. Rose and Walter anticipated this. They left evidence, journals, recordings, letters, proving Susan's greed over decades. I wrapped my hands around the warm cup, the heat grounding me as she pulled out a deed. This cottage, 15 minutes from town, was bought by Rose 5 years ago, held in a trust for you. Susan doesn't know about it. Relief flooded me, a safe haven if my apartment was truly lost, but hiding wasn't my plan. I wanted to fight. There's more, Clara said, her eyes meeting mine. Your grandparents built a community, loyal friends who know Susan's true colors. They'll stand with you. As if on cue, a knock came, and Clara smiled. That's Maria. Their gardener for 20 years. She's got stories to tell. Maria, a woman in her 50s with soil-stained hands and kind eyes, hugged me tightly, her flannel shirt smelling of earth and rosemary. Miss Lila, I'm so sorry about Rose and Walter, she said, her voice warm. They asked me to watch over you. The house and garden are ready for you. We sat Maria, sharing memories of Rose teaching me to prune roses, Walter fixing her old truck, their love for me evident in every tale. Susan came after the funeral, Maria said, her tone darkening, took jewelry, a watch, some paintings. I caught it on the security cameras Walter installed last year. My stomach twisted. Susan hadn't just demanded money she'd stolen from their home, thinking no one would notice. Clara made a note that footage is gold if they push legally. And there's more. Rose kept journals, detailed every visit, every demand. Maria led me to Rose's study, a small room off the hallway, its shelves lined with leather-bound journals, each dated in her elegant script. I opened one, May 10th. Susan asked for $150,000 for a new car. Got angry when we refused, said we favored Lila, left without saying goodbye. The entries painted a picture. Susan's demands for cash, her disdain for their simple life contrasted with my visits, bringing homemade soup, reading with Rose by the fire. My heart ached, seeing how they'd cherished me, while Susan saw them as a bank, not parents. The doorbell rang and Maria returned with Tom Ellis, their accountant for 15 years, his briefcase stuffed with portfolios, Rose and Walter. Trusted you, Lila, he said. They left $15 million, $5 million in cash, $7 million in investments, $3 million in property, all secure. He showed me records of Susan's attempts to borrow. $150,000 in 2012, never repaid for a vacation home she flaunted. Then came Sarah, their neighbor, with a casserole and stories of block parties I'd attended. As a child, her hug a reminder of the community Rose and Walter built. Each visitor brought warmth, evidence, and resolve. My grandparents had given me more than money, a network to fight for their legacy. By afternoon, my phone pinged. Susan's text. We're coming tomorrow, 10 a.m. To take what's ours, don't make this ugly, Lila. I showed Clara her expression steely. They're walking into a trap. Your grandparents planned for this. We'll be ready. Clara made calls, her voice low, arranging a meeting with a judge, a police officer, and more of Rose and Walter's allies. Review these tonight, she said, pointing to the journals and financial documents. Understand what you're fighting for. It's not just money. It's their values. I nodded, the weight of their trust settling over me, a responsibility I'd carry with pride. As Maria and Tom left, promising to return, I felt a calm resolve. I wasn't alone. My grandparents had built a fortress of loyalty around me. I spent the evening reading Rose's journals, her words painting a life of purpose, their fishery a beacon of hard work and fairness. Susan's greed had no place in their vision, and I'd make sure it never would. By bedtime, another text. From Ethan, sleep-light cousin, tomorrow you'll see what happens to thieves. Fear flickered, but resolve burned brighter. Tomorrow would show who the real thieves were. I fell asleep. The oceans hummed through my window, a reminder of Rose and Walter's strength, now mine to wield. Morning came, sharp and clear, and I woke ready, my grandparents' legacy a fire in my chest. Susan's threats no match for what I was about to unleash. The morning sun broke over the Oregon coast, painting the cliffs outside Rose and Walter's house in hues of gold. The ocean's rhythmic crash, a steady pulse through the open window. I stood in the kitchen, the scent of brewing coffee mingling with Rose's lavender potpourri, my hands steady as I arranged Clara's legal documents on the table. My phone buzzed with another text from Susan. 10 a.m., Lila. Be ready. We're taking what's ours. Don't test me. Her words, sharp as the gull's cries outside, only fueled my resolve. A fire kindled by Walter's advice. Stand firm, Lila. Your worth is yours to protect. Clara arrived at 8, her silver hair catching the light, her briefcase stuffed with folders, her voice calm but urgent. Susan's bringing lawyers, Lila, but we've got more. Evidence, allies, everything. Maria bustled in next, her flannel shirt dusted with garden soil. Setting out a tray of fresh muffins, their warmth a small comfort against the coming storm. Tom Ellis followed, his accountant's precision evident in the spreadsheets he spread out detailing Susan's $150,000 loan never repaid. By 9:30, the house hummed with allies, neighbors, fishery workers, all bound by love for Rose and Walter. Ready to defend their legacy with me, Clara gathered. Us in the living room, the oak furniture gleaming, the air thick with anticipation and the faint salt of the sea. Susan's group will arrive soon, she said, her eyes scanning the room. You've got Judge Emily Harper, Officer Daniel Ruiz, and 10 fishery employees who know Susan's history. Maria nodded, her hands clasped. I've got the security footage ready, Susan stealing jewelry, Ethan taking Walter's watch, all recorded. Tom added, I've got financial records. Susan's demands for cash, loans she never repaid. It's airtight. Sarah, the neighbor, set out coffee, her voice soft. Rose always said you were their heart. Leela, we're here for you. I clutched the journal I'd read last night. Rose's words vivid. Lila brings light every Sunday. Susan only comes to ask for money. The doorbell rang, sharp and insistent, and Clara nodded to Maria, who opened the door. My heart pounding. As Susan's voice cut through, Where's Lila? This is family business. Let us in. Susan strode in, her designer coat stark against the cozy room, followed by Linda, Mark, Ethan, and a man in a slick suit. Their lawyer, his briefcase gleaming like a weapon. Their faces froze as they saw the crowd. Judge Harper's stern presence. Officer Ruiz's badge glinting. Fishery workers forming a silent wall behind me. What is this? Susan snapped, her voice brittle. You brought strangers into our private matter, Lila. How dare you? I stepped forward, the journal in my hand, my voice steady. You're here to take what Rose and Walter gave me, but they chose me for a reason, and I'm not alone. Clara handed me a stack of documents, her eyes sharp. These are C's. And desist orders, Susan, for your threats, and notices demanding the return of items you took after the funeral. Susan's face reddened, her lawyer whispering urgently, but she waved him off. You're a child, Lila. Can't handle $15 million. Sign it over or you're homeless by noon. Ethan smirked. Yeah, cousin, you'll regret. This when you're broke and alone. That money's ours. Judge Harper cleared her throat. Susan, I've reviewed Rose and Walter's will. They were sound of mind. Their choice is legally binding. Contesting it will fail. The room went silent, the ocean's hum filling the space. Susan's eyes darting as she realized her plan was crumbling. Clara pressed a button and a screen lit up, showing footage of Susan rifling through Rose's jewelry box the day of the funeral, pocketing a diamond necklace. Maria spoke, her voice firm. That's Rose's heirloom, worth $10,000. You took it without permission. Tom stepped forward, holding a ledger. Susan, you borrowed $150,000 in 2012 for a beach house, never repaid a cent. Rose documented it. Linda gasped. This is outrageous. Lila manipulated them, turned them against us with her little visits. Officer Ruiz raised a hand. I'm here as a friend of Rose and Walter. But any theft will be prosecuted. The cameras don't lie. Susan's lawyer paled, flipping through Clara's documents. Mrs. Carter, this evidence is damaging. Public record if you contest. I advise caution. Susan laughed, cold and sharp. You think you've won, Lila. I'll drag you through court. You'll lose everything. Apartment, money, all of it. I felt the weight of their stares, but Rose's journal grounded me. Her entry from last year vivid. Susan demanded $50,000 today. Said we're selfish for not sharing. Lila brought us flowers, asked nothing. Shh. Signing anything, I said, my voice clear. You can't bully me into giving up what Rose and Walter trusted me with. Susan lunged forward, her lawyer grabbing her arm. You'll regret this, Leela. I own your apartment building. You're out by noon, no family, no home. Clara stepped in, her tone icy. Actually, Susan, Rose left Lila a cottage. Held in a trust you can't touch. She's not homeless. The room buzzed. Linda whispering to Mark. Ethan's smirk fading, Susan's face twisting in fury. You think a cottage saves you, she hissed. We'll take the $15 million. The house, everything. You're nothing without us. Judge Harper spoke. Susan, the will is ironclad. Cognitive tests from last year confirm their competence. Your threats are empty. Ethan muttered, This isn't over, cousin. But his voice lacked conviction. Their confidence cracking like thin ice under the weight of evidence. Susan's group retreated to their cars, the lawyer urging calm. But Susan's parting shot echoed. You'll pay for this, Lila. I'll make sure of it. The door closed and the tension dissolved. Sarah pouring fresh coffee. The scent grounding me as Maria hugged me. You did it, Lila, just like Rose would have. Clara gathered the documents, her smile tight. They'll try again, but we've got more. Rose's journals detail every manipulation. We're ready. I nodded. The journals weighed in my hand, a reminder of my grandparents' trust, their love a shield against Susan's greed. Judge Harper placed a hand on my shoulder. Rose and Walter would be proud. Leela, you stood with dignity, just as they taught you. The fishery workers shared stories of Walter's fairness, paying for their kids' school fees, Rose's quiet donations to local charities, their legacy alive in this room. I felt a strange calm, not victory, but resolve. Susan thought she'd won, but my next step would shatter her. As the group dispersed, Clara stayed. Let's prepare for round two. Lila, Susan's not done, but neither are we. I spent the afternoon in Rose's study. The ocean's roar, a steady hum through the window, the journals revealing Susan's decades of demands. $5,000 here, $10,000 there, always with threats. One entry chilled me, dated. 2 years ago, Susan said if we don't fund her new venture, she'll keep Lila from us. We refused. Lila came anyway, brought homemade bread. Clara joined me, bringing a USB drive. More footage, she said, Susan and Ethan going through the attic post-funeral, taking Walter's rare coin collection worth $20,000. I watched the video, my stomach twisting. Susan's casual theft, a betrayal deeper than her words. Tom arrived with bank records. Susan tried to access Rose's account in 2019. Forged a check for $30,000. Walter stopped it, Maria added. I found letters in the garden shed. Susan begging for cash, threatening to sue for neglect. Rose kept every one. Each piece of evidence was a brick in the wall Rose and Walter built, protecting me from Susan's greed, their foresight, humbling. By evening, Clara drafted a letter to Susan's lawyer, demanding the return of stolen items, threatening charges if they refused. We'll send it tomorrow, she said. Let them sweat. The next morning I woke to the smell of sea salt and coffee, the house alive with Rose and Walter's presence. Their trust in me a steady anchor. My phone had 15 missed calls. Susan's voicemails, a mix of rage and fake tears. Lila, how could you humiliate us? Let's talk. We're family. Ethan's text was blunt. You're making enemies, cousin. Watch your back. I forwarded them to Clara, who arrived with Officer Ruiz, his presence reassuring. I've got patrols checking the property. Lila, no one's getting in. We reviewed the journals, Rose's words painting Susan as a stranger. She asked for $200,000 last month, said we owed her. Lila helped weed the garden, asked for nothing. Clara outlined the next step. We file theft. Charges for the jewelry and coins. Publicize the evidence. The town will turn on Susan. I hesitated, the mother-daughter bond fraying but not broken. Can we give her one chance to return everything first? Clara nodded. One chance. Leela, but if she refuses, we go hard. Rose and Walter deserve that. I drove to the town diner, the clink of coffee cups and bacon's sizzle a familiar comfort. My usual booth by the window offering a view of the foggy coast. Sarah joined me, her casserole dish in hand. The town's talking, Lila. Everyone knows Susan tried to bully you. They're on your side. A fisherman Joe approached his weathered face kind. Walter gave my son a scholarship, $10,000. Never asked for thanks. You're just like him. I thanked him, my heart swelling. The community support a lifeline Rose and Walter had woven over decades. Back at the house, I found a hidden drawer in Walter's desk. A letter inside. Lila, if Susan fights you, use the evidence we left. Our love is your strength. Tears stung my eyes. Their foresighted gift. Their belief in me, a fire that Susan's threats couldn't douse. Clara called. Susan's lawyer responded. They're denying theft, claiming the items were gifts. We need to escalate. I nodded. Gripping the letter, do it, Clara. Let's show them what Rose and Walter built. Susan's about to learn her place. The letter to Susan went out, certified mail, demanding the return of the necklace, watch, and coins within 48 hours, or we'd file charges. Clara leaked the funeral footage to a local news blog, anonymized, and by noon, the town was buzzing. Comments flooding in. Susan's a thief. Lila's the real heir. My phone lit up. 20 missed calls. Susan's voicemails desperate. Lila, this is slander. Stop it. Let's meet. We can share the money. Ethan's texts turned vicious. You're ruining our lives, cousin. You'll pay for this. I deleted them, my resolve unshaken. The town's support a chorus drowning out their noise. At the diner, Joe and Sarah organized a rally for tomorrow. We'll stand outside the house when Susan arrives. Joe said, show her the town's with you. Clara prepared more documents, restraining orders, theft charges, ready if Susan pushed back. I felt the weight of Rose and Walter's legacy, not just the $15 million, but their values, their community, their trust in me, Susan thought. She could bully me, but my next move would hit harder. A reckoning she didn't see coming. The rally took shape. The town square filling with familiar faces, fishermen, librarians, neighbors, all holding signs. Protect Lila's legacy, honor. Rose and Walter. I stood on the porch, the ocean's salt air sharp. My heart racing as Clara handed me a megaphone. Speak to them, Lila. They're here for you. My voice shook at first. Rose and Walter gave me everything. Not just money, but love. Values. This town, I won't let Susan steal it. Cheers erupted. The crowd's warmth a shield. Joe shouting, we've got your back, Lila, just like Walter had ours. Susan's car pulled up, her face pale as she saw the crowd. Her lawyer whispering frantically. Linda and Ethan trailing, their confidence gone. What is this? Susan shouted. You're turning the town against me, Lila. You'll regret. This. Clara stepped forward, handing her the theft charges. Return the items by tomorrow, Suzanne. Or these go public with jail time. The crowd roared, Susan's lawyer pulling her back, but her eyes locked on mine. A promise of retaliation, my heart steady for what came next. Susan's lawyer called Clara that night, offering to return the necklace and watch, claiming the coins were misplaced, a weak excuse. They're stalling, Clara said. We file the charges tomorrow. And I've got a contact at the state attorney's office. This could escalate. I nodded. The journal opened to Rose's last entry. Lila's our legacy. Susan will try to take it. But she's stronger than she knows. The words fueled me, my plan unfolding. A public meeting at the town hall tomorrow to expose Susan's theft, with footage and journals as proof. Maria and Tom prepared a presentation, financial records, videos, Rose's words, ready to show the town who Susan really was. Sarah spread the word, the diner abuzz with plans. We'll fill the hall, Lila. Susan can't hide now. Phone buzzed. Susan's final voicemail, Lila, stop this. Give me $5 million. We'll call it even. Don't make me destroy you. I saved it. Another piece of evidence, the town's support my armor. Susan's threats, a spark for the fire I'd unleash tomorrow. The town hall loomed, its wooden beams creaking under the weight of a packed crowd. the air thick with coffee and anticipation. I stood at the front, Clara beside me, the screen ready to show Susan's theft. Rose's journals open on the podium. Susan arrived late, alone, her face a mask of defiance. "This is a circus, Lila. You're embarrassing yourself." I ignored. Her addressing the crowd, Rose and Walter left me their legacy. $15 million. Their home, their values. Susan wants to take it, but I'm here to protect it. The footage played, Susan pocketing the necklace, Ethan grabbing the watch, gasps rippling through the room. Clara read from Rose's journal. Susan asked for $50,000 last year. Threatened to cut us off. Lila brought us soup. Love, nothing else. Susan stood, shouting lies, all of it. Lila manipulated them. I'm their daughter. The crowd booed. Joe yelling, "We know the truth. Susan, you've been fleecing them for years. Lila's their heart." Susan's face crumpled. Her defiance cracking. But she stormed out. The crowd's jeers following her. The town hall vibrating with support. Clara leaned in. She's cornered. Lila, but she'll fight dirty. We need to secure the estate now. We filed the theft charges that afternoon. Officer Ruiz serving the papers at Susan's hotel, her lawyer scrambling to respond. Maria found more journals detailing Susan's attempts to declare Rose incompetent in 2020. A failed scheme to control their wealth. Tom uncovered bank records. Susan's withdrawals from Rose's account. $20,000 in 2018 stopped by Walter's vigilance. The town rallied, businesses refusing Susan's service. Her social standing crumbling as the news blog updated. Susan Carter's theft exposed. Leela defends legacy. My phone stayed silent. No more threats. But I knew Susan wasn't done. Her silence a storm brewing. Clara smiled. You've got the town, the evidence, and Rose and Walter's love. Lila, tomorrow we end this. But tonight, rest. You've earned it. I returned to the house, the ocean's roar a lullaby. Rose's potpourri grounding me as I read her final journal entry. Lila will face Susan's greed. But she's our strength. Our legacy lives in her. The words steadied me. The town's supportive fortress, Susan's threats no match for the plan unfolding. Clara called. The state attorney's reviewing the charges. Susan could face jail. But she's planning something. Stay sharp. I nodded, clutching Walter's letter. His words clear. Protect our legacy. Lila, use our evidence. You're never alone. The town hall meeting had shaken Susan, but her next move would test me, and I was ready. My grandparents' trust aflame, she couldn't extinguish. Tomorrow, I'd face her final play. The evidence stacked, the town behind me, a reckoning she didn't see coming. I fell asleep. The oceans hum a promise. Susan's defeat close. My heart steady for the battle ahead. The morning would bring her last stand. But I had one more move. A trap that would seal her fate and honor Rose and Walter forever. The morning sun rose over the Oregon coast, its light filtering through the fog, casting a soft glow on Rose and Walter's house, the ocean's steady hum a backdrop to my racing thoughts. I stood on the porch, clutching Rose's journal. Its pages worn from my late-night reading, her words a shield against Susan's looming retaliation. Clara arrived at 7, her silver hair pulled tight, her briefcase stuffed with legal filings, the scent of fresh coffee trailing her. Susan's lawyer filed a motion to contest the will last night. She said, her voice calm but urgent, claiming Rose and Walter were coerced. But we've got their video journals, everything to crush it. Maria bustled in, her flannel shirt dusted with garden dirt, steading out scones, their blueberry aroma mingling with the salt air. Tom Ellis followed his spreadsheets detailing Susan's $150,000 loan, a debt sheet. Never repaid, now a legal weapon. The town hall meeting was set for noon, the crowd already gathering, their signs reading Lila's legacy, Rose and Walter's truth. Susan thought she'd outmaneuver me, but my trap. A public reckoning with undeniable evidence would end her fight today. Inside, The living room buzzed with allies. Judge Harper sipping coffee, Officer Ruiz checking his phone, fishery workers sharing stories of Walter's generosity. Clara set up a projector, Rose and Walter's video message ready. Their voices about to echo through the town hall, exposing Susan's greed. Susan's claiming you manipulated them, Leela, Clara said, but Rose's journals detail her demands. $50,000 last year. $20,000 the year before. All refused. Maria nodded. I found more footage. Susan in the attic, taking Walter's coin collection. Worth $20,000, the day after the funeral. Sarah, the neighbor, added, the town's ready, Lila. They know you're Rose's heart. Susan's lost their trust. My phone buzzed, a voicemail from Susan. Lila, stop this now. Give me $5 million. We'll drop the suit. Don't make me ruin you. I saved it. Another piece of evidence, my resolve firm as the cliffs outside the town support my anchor. As we left for the hall, Maria hugged me. You're their legacy, Lila. Today we show Susan she can't win. The town hall was packed, the wooden beams creaking under the weight of 300 people. The air thick with coffee and anticipation, the ocean's distant roar seeping through the windows. I stood at the podium, Rose's journal in hand, Clara beside me, the screen behind us glowing, ready for the video. Susan entered alone, her face pale but defiant, her lawyer trailing, his suit crisp but his eyes nervous. This is a spectacle. Lila, she snapped, you're dragging our family through the mud. Stop now or you'll regret it. I ignored her, addressing the crowd. Rose and Walter left me $15 million. Their home, their values, because they trusted me. Susan wants to steal it, but I'm here to protect their legacy. The video played, Rose's voice clear. Susan, we love you, but your greed broke our hearts. Kayla's our light. She carry our vision forward. Gasps rippled through the room. Susan's face reddening as Walter added, Lila lives for purpose, not profit. We trust her with everything. Clara read from the journal. Susan demanded $100,000 last month. Threatened to sue. Lila brought us flowers, asked nothing. We chose her. Susan stood, her voice shrill. Lies, all of it. Lila poisoned them against me. I'm their daughter. That money's mine. The crowd booed. Joe, the fisherman, shouting, we know you, Susan. You've been fleecing them for years. Lila's their heart. Clara played the funeral footage, Susan pocketing the diamond necklace, Keithan grabbing the watch, the crowd's murmurs turning to outrage. Tom presented bank records. Susan took $30,000 in 2018, forged a check. Walter stopped it. She never repaid the $150,000 loan from 2012. Judge Harper spoke. I've reviewed the evidence. Rose and Walter's will is airtight. Susan's contest will fail. Her theft charges are pending. Susan's lawyer whispered urgently, but she pushed him away. You're nothing, Lila. A librarian playing at power. I'll destroy you in court. Officer Ruiz stepped forward. Mrs. Carter. Any further threats will be added to the charges. The cameras are still rolling. The crowd cheered, their signs waving. Lila's legacy. A chorus that drowned Susan's fading defiance. Her lawyer pulling her toward the exit. Susan's retreat didn't end it. Her lawyer called Clara that afternoon, offering a deal: return the stolen items, drop the contest, or face a smear campaign. They're desperate, Clara said. We've got the town, the evidence, and Rose's video. They can't win. I nodded. The journal opened to Rose's words. Lila's our strength. Susan will fight, but she'll lose to the truth. We filed additional charges: theft, fraud, harassment. The state attorney's office fast-tracking the case. Susan's social standing crumbling as the blog updated. Susan Carter faces jail. Lila protects legacy. Sarah organized a community dinner at the house, the garden lit with lanterns, the scent of grilled fish and rosemary filling the air. Joe shared stories of Walter paying his son's medical bills. $10,000. No questions asked. You're just like him, Leela. The town's proud. My heart swelled, the pain of Susan's betrayal easing, replaced by the warmth of this chosen family. But a text from Susan late that night chilled me. You've humiliated me, Lila. I'm not done. Meet me tomorrow, 9 a.m., or I'll ruin you. I showed Clara, her eyes narrowing. She's bluffing Lila, but let's be ready. We'll meet her at the diner, record everything. Morning came, the fog thick over the coast, the diner's clink of coffee cups and bacon sizzle. A grounding hum as I sat in my booth. Susan arrived, her face haggard. No lawyer, her voice low. Lila, I'll drop the suit, return the items. Just give me $3 million. We're family. I slid Rose's journal across the table, open to her last entry, Susan's. Greed will test Lila, but she's stronger. Our legacy lives in her. You stole from them, Mom, I said, my voice steady. You threatened me. I'm giving you one chance. Return everything, apologize publicly, or face jail. Susan's eyes filled with tears. I raised you, Leela, after all I did. School, clothes, this is how you repay me. I shook my head. You left me with Rose and Walter. They raised me. Their love is why I'm here, not yours. She stood, her voice breaking. You're no daughter of mine, and walked out. The diner's silence heavy, my recorder catching. Every word. Clara filed the recording with the charges. The state attorney scheduling a hearing for next week. Susan's theft and threats now public record. The town rallied. Businesses banning Susan, her social circle shrinking. The blogs. Comments fierce. Lila's the true heir. Susan's done. I moved into Rose and Walter's house, the guest room too small for their legacy. The master bedroom slowly feeling like mine. Maria helped me plant new roses. Their scent a reminder of Rose's lessons. Grow what lasts, Lila, not what shines. Tom guided me through the fishery's finances, ensuring its 50 employees kept their profit sharing, Walter's dream alive. Sarah hosted Sunday dinners, the table filled with neighbors, fishermen, allies, their laughter echoing Rose and Walter's warmth. Susan returned the necklace, watch, and coins, her lawyer delivering them with a note. No contest, we're done, her signature shaky. The charges proceeded, Susan facing 2 years for theft, her reputation shattered. My heart heavy but resolute, Rose and Walter's trust honored. 6 months passed, the coastal fog lifting, the house alive with new memories. The garden blooming under Maria's care. I established the Rose and Walter Bennett Foundation, dedicating $5 million to local schools, arts programs, and scholarships, areas my grandparents cherished. The fishery thrived, my oversight ensuring fair wages, $20,000. In bonuses last quarter, Walter's values intact. I returned to the library, shelving books, helping kids with homework, my modest salary enough with the estate's security. Susan called once asking for a loan, $100,000, her voice desperate. I'm broke. Leela, help me. I refused, offering a meeting if she apologized, but she hung up, her silence final, our bond broken. The foundations. First event, a scholarship ceremony honored 10 students. One, a girl named Emma. Echoing my younger self, my parents can't afford college. Miss Leela, this changes everything. As she hugged me, tears in her eyes, I felt Rose and Walter's presence, their legacy, a ripple through the town, their love, my guide. The ocean's hum filled the house, the journal on my nightstand opened to Rose's words. Leela's our light, she'll carry us forward, no matter what. I visited their graves, the salt air sharp fresh daisies in my hand. I'm doing my best, I whispered. Your foundation's growing. 3 students are in college because of you. The breeze stirred, golden leaves falling, a moment Rose would have loved, perfect for baking and reading by the fire. My life stayed simple. A used car, library shifts, volunteering at the shelter. The $15 million a tool, not my goal. Susan's trial ended, probation instead of jail. Her move to Portland a quiet retreat, the town's memory long. I hosted Sunday dinners, Maria, Tom, Sarah, and others laughing around the table. A family bound by values, not blood. It's a foundation. Grew funding art classes, saving families from foreclosure, $10,000 here. 20,000 there, Rose and Walter's quiet charity alive. As I stood on the cliffs, the ocean vast before me. I knew their legacy wasn't the money, but the love, the community. The strength they gave me to stand firm. What's your story of standing up to family greed? Have you fought for what's right against those you love? Share in the comments on Total Revenge. Your experiences inspire us all. If this resonated, like, subscribe, and share with someone who needs to see justice served. Family is about respect, not control. Rose and Walter taught me that. They're $15 million a tool to amplify their values, not define me. I still shelve books, plant roses, live simply, their lessons my guide, their trust my strength. The town hall victory wasn't just mine, but there's a community united by truth, not greed. Susan lost more than money. She lost the family she never valued, while I gained the one Rose and Walter built. Thank you for joining me on Total Revenge. May you find the courage to protect your legacy, whatever it may be.